to What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Boy, we got busy this morning. We were busy trying to get it together this morning. Lord, we just want to thank you this morning. Let this be a beautiful segment. Let this segment be all of you. And for the sister who's emptying out her bag, Father God, we just want to thank you, Father, for being in the midst, being here. We just thank you, Father. Thank you. All right. We were in the middle of praying. I know we were so busy that we forgot to give God his first. And so
that's right. So y'all call us in prayer.
I call us in prayer, but it's okay. God is good. He is merciful and everlasting and true. We have to make sure that we bring him in this because what's in the bag is to honor him and to show how good he is to each and every one of the persons that come up on this program, this show, this what's in, to deliver what's in their bag. But anyway, good morning. I got my coffee today. I got my IHOP coffee today. Somebody had drunk up all my IHOP coffee. And I was upset. And my daughter came and bought me some more IHOP coffee. I love me some IHOP coffee, baby. That's my best. And inside of that coffee, I have some creamy and sweet by Delight and plenty of sugar. I got a lot of sugar. Well, let me say this. I'm not telling people to use sugar. I'm not promoting any sugar, this and that. Like my BFF, she's not promoting not to take sugar, but that's my bag. What's in my bag is I like sugar. I like coffee and I like sugar. So here's to me. Hey! Well, let me introduce to some and present to others my BFF What's up, girl?
Good morning. Like Marvina said, we're not promoting to use a lot of sugar, and we're not promoting to use a lot of substitute sweeteners. It's basically whatever your lifestyle is and whatever your health is. Me, I'm diabetic, so I'm going to go the sugar-free route. And I am drinking some what coffee? I'm drinking some coffee. I don't remember exactly the brand, but I made it iced coffee this morning. Don't have it. I'm out of hazelnut, so I had to go French vanilla. But it's good.
It's good.
It's whatever. French vanilla is her favorite. So.
I like French vanilla. I like hazelnut.
But it is really good. It's my last resort. I've had the creamer for over a year, so I was a little. Thank God it's the powder and not the liquid. I was kind of concerned, but
was it clumped together?
Huh?
Was it clumped together?
No, because before I use anything powder form, I'm hitting it to make sure that is not all clumped together and everything. So when I put it into something, it's going to blend perfectly. And I don't want something looking like lumpy gravy.
My creamers, if they stay out too long for that long, they start clunking. They like get thick together. They clunk together. So that's why I was wondering, did you have to hit the side and get it in clump? Yeah.
I didn't thank the Lord. It would have been just some black coffee on ice today.
You like coffee, so
yeah, I'm telling you, it's actually good.
Girl, how about and I just have to throw this in here because Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I have to throw this in. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Ronnie. I have to throw this out there. Let me say this. There is so much mess going on so far. So I'm just trying to figure out, and I'm just going to say this before we talk about it because it's here in Georgia about, how people, our own, are killing our own. And I just want to throw that out here. It's been like a sad week, finding babies in
Oh my
garbage,
God.
finding bodies burnt up, our own, and I just want to, just throw that out there. We need to be praying, y'all. We gotta we need some connected people to start praying to our God about how we're doing, how people are feeling about family members,
Right.
children, their babies. They're doing all kinds of stuff now, and I just want to throw that out there before we go with the show and start uplifting and giving God some of these problems. Take it to Him because
Yes.
we're not somewhere we're disconnected, and I think that is one of the problem solvers is to go to God and pray for what's going on out here because I'm not understanding
Right.
why these people are killing one another and not wanting, fighting. And good morning, Rob. And all that good
Why
stuff.
they doing what they're doing?
All that. They're doing evil, just evil for evil. And they said it in the Bible. It's the last days. Fathers against sons and mothers against daughters, and so on and so forth. We're doing a good job of making that happen. We really is. We're doing a good
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
out here. Well, you
Yeah.
know what, and that brings tears to my eyes. We put on. I had in a group chat. I had put domestic violence, and I was so in awe, you know, and to see that so many people out here has dealt with domestic violence in some ways, somehow. Some of them
Right.
got it, and I just felt like, wow, it is so thick out here. It is, people are running for their lives. You got people running for their lives. Some people are losing their lives. You got people literally bullying and doing the things that they're doing to other people. And I'm just wondering what is going on. Why is this becoming such a big issue? Was it before COVID? Was it after COVID? I've been hearing so many things about why people are going through domestic violence. Why are we going through violence, period? You know, um, so we just felt like this was a great topic to talk about. And I have a woman, a young lady, I'm going to call her my family member because she is, that felt had traumatic situation happen in her life.
Very.
And I reached out and I was like, would you like to, tell empty your bag or what's in the bag? And she said yes. She said yes because it was time. It's time. It's time for us to start getting a handle and understand what not only the person that may be going through the domestic violence, but the person that has to live with it. Like maybe
Right.
someone very close to you as a sister, brother, parent, just somebody that's close to you in a journey they have to go through knowing either their child or siblings or family member is going through domestic violence or having
Mm-hmm.
gone through it and came out, not on the side that we want them to come on the side that we lose them.
Right.
So I felt that this was a great topic to talk about, and who not ever to bring this topic in, but this beautiful young lady. Look at her sitting back.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ladybug. Good morning.
Good morning,
So
ladies.
darling grateful to you this morning for
Yes.
wanting to share what's in your bag. And, you know, I'm your cousin and I really don't know, you know, how it, how what you're going through and who I feel would be a great honor to talk about this. Um, but before we go on that, I need to know you got your cup over there. You got a cup right there. What's in that cup?
Yes, ma'am.
What's in that cup, baby?
This morning I am drinking. Now, I must say I'm not at home, so this is not my coffee. I am drinking some of my mama's coffee.
Love it. Love it.
Now, because she is my mama, I will not disrespect my mama.
Here you go. I love it. Well, you better not you better not. You better
So I will say I will be drinking 1 cup of coffee today. And I will also say that my mama drinks that Dunkin' Donuts extra extra.
not. Oh wow.
Ooh.
I am somebody that takes 2 sugars and some cream.
Yeah.
So it's it, it's probably taken me about an hour to sip through this cup of coffee.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's some strong coffee. That's some
That's that.
strong stuff.
Put
That's
that hair in your
It's some
chest, coffee.
sweet, it's some sweet coffee. It's some sweet
it's
coffee.
sweet. It's sweet.
But because my
Oh.
grandson had me up very early and very late, I
Wow.
need this cup of coffee.
Wow.
So if anyone would
Oh,
like to
yeah.
send a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee over to me, I will not be unhappy with
Yes,
you.
ma'am. I love me some Dunkin' Donuts. I love IHOP though. I'm a IHOP. I like the IHOP one. I love
I,
it.
I, I just like a good strong cup of coffee, and this is a very sweet cup of coffee right here.
I
And I can't drink a sweet cup of coffee,
like
so but I'm not going to disrespect my mama.
do that. Don't do that. Don't disrespect the sweetness of the coffee.
Right.
I don't want a 5'1" person cussing me out. So
Well, let's go ahead on and we're gonna talk about this. So Lisa, what's in
yes,
your
ma'am.
bag, girl? What's in your bag?
We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to share. What's in my bag is sharing my story about my beautiful 23-year-old daughter, Asia Dawn. Sharing her story, sharing what's happened since her story, and hoping that it can maybe change the trajectory for at least one other person.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, tell them. We ready to hear it. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, as I said, I had a beautiful 23-year-old daughter named Asia Dawn Robinson, and we were living in Columbia, South Carolina at the time. And Asia was working 2 jobs, working as the assistant manager at Dollar Tree on a very strong trajectory. Asia loved, loved, loved to work. She just was really involved in it. She also was working over at it's now Price Right. So it used to be whatever the store used to be that was Price Right. Oh, there's my baby. There's my baby girl. But it was price. It's now Price Right, but it was a store that used to be that prior to Price Right, but whatever the case is, a grocery store. But she was also assistant over there, and she was really looking forward to. She was planning. She had just gotten a car and was very proud of that. Her first car, was planning to move into her first apartment and was collecting all of this Asia memorabilia for her apartment. But she was also very much involved with someone that she cared deeply about, that cared deeply about her. Um, Very sweet man, very sweet man. He's down in Alabama now, but Victor was a really nice man. And so she had just come home from work, and she also was still friends with her ex, um, who we'd remained friendly with. He'd been by the house almost every day that week. He'd been by the house watching the game. It was the week of the basketball playoffs. So he'd come by the house watching the game and everything. But he was a little bit of a haint. He was just a little bit of a haint. He'd always be around, that kind of thing. And the evening before everything happened, she came home from work and she said, Mommy, I'm really tired. Is it okay? And I say this because it's something that I'm very grateful for. It's a moment that I'm very grateful for. And she said, Mom, I'm very tired. Is it okay if I lay down with you? I just want to take a nap. And I was like, sure. I've always been very affectionate. My kids and I have always been very affectionate, that sort of thing with each other. And she came and lay down in my bed with her big 23-year-old self. And she laid down next to me and she just curled her whole body into me and just laid in the bed with me and fell right to sleep. And I was just kind of stroking her hair and basically like a little girl. But she slept like that for about maybe 2.5 hours. And then when she woke up, she was just like, Jeremy wants to come by, but I'm really tired and I don't feel like being bothered. I'm going to go by Victor's house and spend the night. If Jeremy calls, just tell him I'm sleeping. Don't tell him where I went. Just tell him I'm sleeping. So I said, okay. So she packed a bag and went to Victor's house. And sure enough, and my niece was here. My niece and her boyfriend were here from Boston visiting that week. And sure enough, Jeremy had called. I don't think he called. I think he may have come by. He came by later on, and I thought he was drunk, but he was really angry, and he said some foul things looking for Asia. He said some very foul things. He was very abusive. Um, I won't repeat what he said, but he said some very foul things about Asia and left. And basically, he knew where she was at. And we were trying to reach her, but I didn't have Victor's phone number. And he, I didn't know where Victor lived, and Asia had my car. And so I was calling all around the place because Victor was a mutual friend of a lot of my friends. So I was calling around trying to reach my friends, trying to find out if anyone knew Victor's phone number, and nobody did. So we spent all night just worrying about, whether or not Asia was okay, that kind of thing. And in the morning, Asia turned her phone back on and heard the messages about 5 o'clock because she had to open up Dollar Tree. And so she was texting my niece. And um, apparently, what had happened is that Jeremy went to Victor's house the previous night and was banging on the door. And Victor answered. And Jeremy demanded to have Asia come out, or for Asia to come to the door. And Victor told him no and told him to leave. And Jeremy did leave, but apparently what he did was he parked outside, and he parked where Asia couldn't see him. So in the morning, what the detectives told us was that they have him on video along the route, chasing the car. They could see him chasing Asia really fast. And so Asia was texting my niece and apologizing, saying, I'm really sorry this happened. I didn't want this to happen. And when I saw those texts, I knew that she knew what was about to happen because she was texting in past tense. And the last text that she sent was, all I ever wanted was to be free and to love. And a few minutes after that, she pulled over, I assumed to speak to Jeremy. And when she did pull over to speak to him, he did. I guess they were yelling. She pulled over in the car. She was still in my car, and he got out of his car and shot her twice. Um, and then he committed suicide.
Oof. It's like I could just as you speak, just see it. It's like um, I don't know how many of y'all out there hear it, but you know, you would wonder how long did she actually knew that this time was going to come. As you were saying, oh my God, oh my God.
Right, right.
So,
It sounds as if she was tormented by the possibility of what could happen and what ultimately happened.
yeah,
And I mean, I really don't even have any words, for that, to live your life feeling threatened that someone is going to take your life just by trying to be free, just by trying to be free.
from
And from what I've heard after the fact, she spoke to my adopted daughter. She spoke to my niece prior to all of this, and and or to my adopted daughter. I don't think that she spoke to my niece as much, but it was more known to them that he had been abusive in the past. I think it was actually known to my adopted daughter,
Wow.
not to my niece, that he had been abusive in the past. No one had ever let me know. They had kept it from me because I think they knew. I come from an extreme domestic violence background, and I had been a domestic violence, and I think that's where my guilt comes from. I had been a domestic violence educator, and Asia had grown up as she had gone to domestic violence roundtables with me. She had gone with me. She grew up in in a household where I was always educating about domestic violence and about self-love and this sort of thing. So for me not to have seen the signs, I knew that he was overbearing, and I'd warned her about that. I knew that he was isolating, and I warned her about that. And I would say, Asia, yeah, I would say these things to her about, Asia. And she's, oh, no, mommy, he's not that way, this and that. And she would protect him. And I should have, but I couldn't put my foot down. It's that kind of thing where your child is over 20 and you feel like you should have separated them.
but you can't.
How can you separate them?
Yeah.
But you still feel that guilt because as someone who has been in that situation, you you know that feeling of when you're in that situation, how you pray that someone would have separated you. You pray
Right.
that someone would have intervened and taken control and said, get out of her life. Don't you ever come back. But now I know it wouldn't have made a difference because
Right.
if someone is determined to take your life, they're going to take your life.
Oh, that is so scary, so scary.
It is.
So yeah, now that and we can sit here and kind of get through what was your coping skills? What did
Right.
lead me to where you at right now?
In the very beginning, I didn't have any. In the very beginning, it was but the grace of God. It was people. It was two of my very dear friends, Tiffany and Tychilus, that surrounded me, and I mean literally stood by my bed almost 24 hours a day because they knew I was suicidal at that point, and they would not leave my side. And it was but for the grace of God, and the fact that I had my family checking in on me, and I had my adopted daughter and my young daughter. Imani was only 14 at the time, and that was a heavy load for her to have to bear. And the two of them were in such deep depressions at the time. I had two children that were in deep depressions, and I was not even at a place where I could see it at the time.
Mm.
And unfortunately, when all of that cleared from me, I did attempt suicide, and it was horrible because myself and the girls all ended up in the hospital
Wow.
within 1 week of each other. We all were in the hospital at the same time because we were all at that point.
Mm.
And then I ended up having had to be in a partial hospitalization after I came out of the inpatient hospitalization. I ended up being in a partial hospitalization for a good 6, 7 months after. I still couldn't cope. My healing process, the journey continued. It was a long process. It was a process and a method of using paperwork. It was a learning process. Um, Parents of murdered children reached out to me immediately. They reached out to me immediately. I started going to meetings and meeting other parents who'd lost their children. And so I had other people to speak to. That was a tremendous help. That was a tremendous help. I was able to start strengthening, but it still took years. I returned back to Boston in 2017, the beginning of 2017. I began the Boston chapter of Parents of Murdered Children. That never took off that big. We would have a few members of the chapter, but to be honest with you, my healing journey never really began in full until I connected with an organization run by Ruth Rollins here in Boston called We Are Better Together, the Daniel Hairston Foundation. Ruth Rollins' organization was fundamental in my healing. They have an annual retreat that lasts 3 days where it's very intense. Morning until night, you are intensely working on your healing. Um, and there's weekly meetings where you are working with other women, where you're meeting with other women. But it's a double thing because not only are you working with other women who've lost someone to violence, which is, I think, so unique. You're meeting with other women whose children have committed an act of violence to harm someone.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you've got the two sides,
Wow.
Mm.
and it's a way of healing because you've got that empathy. You're building an empathy, and you're meeting people where they are, and
Wow.
it's beautiful.
Wow.
It's beautiful. I've never heard of a program like that
Wow.
Wow.
because you've got love for people
Mm-hmm.
who don't always feel that love, and they're able to see that there are people that are going to love them. So that program is just one of a kind, and
Wow.
I'm so grateful for them. It empowered me to be able to I had started an organization right after Asia was killed called Angels for Asia, where I educate and share Asia's story. I go out into the community. I share awareness for domestic violence. I share domestic violence information I go out to different um, fairs. I go out to community, different community awareness um, things that may be going on. If there's an event going on, things like that. I'll go out to neighborhood events, things like that. I have a podcast that I need to get back up because I haven't been doing it very often. And then I also started a candle company back in 2020. And one of the first things that I did with the company is I actually, anytime that I come across somebody who's lost someone to violence, I like to sit down and or speak with them, whether it be through the internet, whether it be in person. But I like to find out about the person that they lost. I like to learn about the person that they lost,
Mm.
find out as much as I can what their personality was, you know, who they were as a person, and create a memorial candle for them, just for that person, just so that they can have something to remember their person by. It's just something that I like to do as part of the candle company, as my gift to them. Create a scent that's just for that person, um, that I think that would remind them of their loved one, and they get to name that scent. They get to name their scent. They get to tell me what their color is.
Nice.
And there's also an Asia candle that is it's it's discounted because it's strictly domestic violence related. It's purple because those are the colors of the purple. Those are the colors of domestic violence,
Yes.
and it's connected to Angels for Asia. It's underneath the Angels for Asia Foundation. It's underneath the Angels for Asia organization. So it's connected to the Angels for Asia organization. So those are the things that are really helping. I won't say that I'm completely healed because I think healing is it doesn't have a timeline.
Right.
You never are fully healed. There are always holidays. Mother's Day is never easy. It's never going to be easy. The anniversary, June 13th, is never going to be easy for me. That's the day of her death. One of the things that I say is, I'm never going to be the same Lisa that I was on June 12th. The
Right.
person that I was June 12th, I will never, ever be again. The person that I was, the carefree person, the person that laughed the same way, that loved the same way, I can never be. Part of my heart is completely gone. My
Right.
trust is gone. It's been years since I dated. That's just a fact. I can't do that anymore. But my healing process is still journeying.
Wow. I'm in awe of your story. This is
Wow.
my cousin, and I never really, of course, you're trying to, what happened? You don't go to your family and ask what happened. This is the first time, and since this happened, that we actually heard the details of everything that
Right.
happened. And I'm in awe, and I am so grateful that you did this. And I know
Yes.
a lot of people might have some questions and things like that. We get some comments up here, see if we can,
Yes.
let's see what some of our people. Good morning, mommy. The precious. Yes, I got that. So everybody just was feeling for you. They saying good morning and thank you for sharing.
Right.
We got cries, we got tears. And y'all need what basically go on her website and see what
Yeah.
her website and her organization
Yeah.
to help and share.
Yeah.
You might not need a candle, but somebody else might need a candle.
Somebody else may need it.
You might
And And Lisa and I have to say, you and I, we spoke the other day, and what an empowering conversation, and I say it again in front of everybody. I thank you for honoring us with your story, because I know that that takes a lot of strength and courage
Yeah.
to tell what happened, because every time you speak on it, it's revisiting it like it just occurred. So I thank you for sharing that with us. And I, like I said, I cannot imagine the and I'm sorry. I can't imagine the hurt and the pain. It would be so callous of me to say that I understand and I know that what you're going through. I've never lost a child. And and I've always felt that a parent should never have to bury their child. And I'm so happy that you found a way to cope. So grateful that God did not allow you to take your life. He allowed you to be here so that you can share this story, in hopes that it will, it stop somebody else from going through something like this.
Yes.
Um, I'm listening. As you said, you were a domestic violence counselor, and and you had Asia with you at different roundtable discussions and things of that nature. Um, and sometimes we don't feel that we ever have to take and protect ourselves or our children from the person that's in that that we feel like, okay, this is a relationship or something. We don't feel that we may have to protect them from the people that's within our doors. um and like you said, as an adult, you want to say to your adult child, I see some warning signs there, don't do this, don't do that. But ultimately, that it's still their choice, still their decision. um what advice would you give to someone who may have a son or a daughter that they see some warning signs? What advice would you have that you may be able to share with them, on how to deal, or if they should, say something? What would you say?
Definitely, my advice, if you are in a situation of your own, is first and foremost, always, always, always love yourself more than you can ever love anybody else other than God. First and foremost is self. You know, you have to be the most important person in this world, you know, in terms of self love. We need to have love and light shine on our own.
Mm,
We need to be able to walk in peace. We need to be able to sleep in peace.
yes.
You know, love doesn't hurt.
Mm,
Love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't make us cry. Love doesn't make us sit in shame. It doesn't make us wonder if it's love. So that would be my piece of advice. If my piece of advice is, if we know somebody and we suspect it, speak on it.
mm,
Speak on it.
yes.
You know, ask somebody. There was something that came out a couple of years ago. It was called Sis, Are You Okay?
Mm,
Sis, Are You Okay? Even if it's at the bus stop and you see somebody that's arguing, Sis, are you okay?
mm, wow.
You don't have to get loud, sis or brother, because you know what? Domestic violence affects men as well.
Yes.
Sir, are you doing okay? We don't have to be loud and intervening. And if it looks like something that we're not able ourselves to interject in, it's okay to be a safe place and go interject with a police officer. It's okay to call the police, because I tell you one thing, I am nosy as heck. I am on the phone with 911 When I see, but
Yes.
I'm also very in front in your face with it. When I see a man or woman arguing in front of my house, I go right outside onto my porch with 911 and I let them know, hello, I'm calling 911. The man has on XYZ, the woman has on XYZ. They are walking toward, they are arguing really loudly. She or he is in his face. It looks like it's escalating really badly. I need you to come right now.
Mm,
I let them
yes.
know.
Yeah.
I'm letting them know that you're coming because I don't want anyone to think that it's okay. Everyone should feel protected. If you feel like you're concerned about somebody that you know and you know their family member, let their family member know. If you feel like you can't speak to your friend, let someone in their family know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speak on it.
Talk
We
about
need to
Yes.
let the stigma go. We need to, especially in our community, we need to let that stigma
That's
go.
right.
It don't stay behind closed doors. I cannot say that emphatically enough. Do not let this stay behind closed doors. Enough. Open all of these doors.
it. Yeah.
Open
Yes.
them. Kick the doors down. It's
Yeah.
time to
Yes.
kick all these doors down because every time this happens, we have another young child witnessing this and growing up. We have another young child that thinks it's okay, whether it be a
Right.
man or a little girl, a little boy or a little girl growing up in that home, thinking
That's
it's
right.
okay to accept it, thinking it's okay to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Kick the doors down and
Get it.
walk
Get
through
them.
them.
Put a voice
Yeah.
to it. Stop
Yeah.
letting it
Yes,
go in
ma'am.
hiding. That's why everything we get away with so much because we think we're hiding everything. Everything
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
is in the behind. They think it's nobody see it. But when you don't
yes.
talk
Exactly.
about it, if you don't put a voice to it, if you don't confront it, you got to be strong with it. You got to
Yep.
understand that, you know
That's
what, this
right.
is not going to just hurt this person. There's people that
That's right.
person. So you got to put a voice to it. You got to
Exactly.
confront it. You can't just be like, "Oh, wait a minute, baby, this don't look right." Lisa just told you. She knew the signs. She told her daughter about the signs, but the force wasn't put behind it. So they wanted now this young man because if I find out somebody messing with my babies, if you ask my babies. We going deep. We going. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I'm one of them mothers. Be honest. They will tell you. I'm one of them mothers that pay attention. I don't. I'm not a mother that let too much get past her. I'm one of
Yeah.
the ones that be like, I'm watching, but I'm not loud with it. But I'm quiet with it. And I go to you, boo. That don't look right. Wait a minute. And then that person that they're dealing with, you can call on my daughter, right? My son, right now, my daughter. And I can give you, if you want references about my kids. When it comes to them, I'm going deep. Okay, I'm not going to bother you. I'm going to make you know that I
Yeah.
know. I see you. I see
Yeah.
you. I see you. I see
Yeah.
you.
And I can, and I can attest to that
Yes,
because
ma'am.
of our own personal story. She got introduced to somebody and she skated on like that person didn't exist. And she said she immediately came and said that
Mm-mm.
his spirit isn't right,
You're right.
something is wrong,
Oh,
and it's not going to end well. I'll never forget that. And no truer words spoken. And
right.
it literally put me on. So I was like, okay, let me pay attention, and I
Let's
did.
pay
And I
attention
was
to what's
grateful
going
for
on with.
her of
Yes.
saying something. And let me tell you guys something.
It's right.
And this was so alarming to me. Children that witness violence in the home, only about 11% of them walk away unscarred. And what I mean by unscarred, unscarred enough to function in society without becoming a victim
Right.
or victimizer.
Right. Right.
43% of those children become abusers,
Yeah.
and the rest um, become the abuse. So I want you guys to just think about those numbers, think about those statistics, think about, we've talked a lot about this on the show here lately about that old, and I hate that. And my kids can honestly tell you, not one of them will ever come to you and say that I ever said, well, look, what happens in my house stays in my house. No, because I wanted to break that. That is such a vicious cycle,
It
such
really
a vicious cycle, and it has allowed so many things to go on from domestic violence to sexual violence, to children, people not eating, just a whole lot of things, and we have to be willing, like Lisa said, kick the door open.
yes,
Open your windows, open your curtains, let some sunlight, start to allow some sunlight into your homes,
true,
and watch how things start to change.
true.
We have to bring those communities back. We
Yes.
have to bring those communities, develop those villages, and those
And
villages
teach
was
our
what
babies,
helped us survive.
teach our babies from the beginning. Even though, like Lisa said, she taught her baby. She taught her baby about what domestic violence is because she kept around her, not thinking that this could
Hmm.
ever happen at her own door.
Yeah.
And not only was she preparing others, she was preparing herself and not knowing that. We realize that
Hmm.
it's really not up to God, to keep things in the manner that we want them. It's up to God the way He wants it at the end of the day.
That's right.
She had a calling, and I believe that, Lisa, your calling it was traumatic. It is traumatic to a lot of people and into self, but God has given you the gift to be able to get out here and speak to others and show them your hope, your strength, your love, your compassion for your baby, so this will not happen to anyone else. You know,
Yeah.
I feel for you because I have children. I have a daughter. My daughter's getting ready to move to Texas. She's just moving from state to state, but I just have that thing that I can never think about not being able to put my hands on my baby again. So I feel for you, girl. I love you and I appreciate you for coming on here.
Yes.
There was a question that I didn't get. I wanted to go ahead on and ask you before we get off. Someone wanted to know, how do you sleep at night?
Mm. Wow, that's a good one.
There was days where honestly, and it's a two-pronged thing. There are times where I am up until 3 o'clock in the morning and fall asleep, and I'm up at 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there are also, I'm a horrible insomniac. But then it also, because I also have a grandson who is severely autistic and who can rise at 4 to 5 a.m. So I'm, I got it on the back end as well. So I'm severely insomniac. I'm a severe insomniac, and then he's gonna get me up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning anyway.
Wow. You want to get
Some
up
nights, but
anyway.
I'm taking like 3 sleeping pills, and I'm still up until
Mm.
the middle
Wow.
of the night. I'm on anxiety pills. I'm on anxiety meds, and it's because I have severe PTSD. Since
Hmm.
this happened, I have had a heart attack. I've had a couple
Jesus.
of strokes.
Jesus.
I Since all of this happened, I've got heart failure. I have been in the hospital multiple times. I've lost use of my legs. I'm on a walker.
Mm.
Um, all of this since this happened.
Wow.
All of this since this happened.
It's like your body is trying to. It's like your body just went into overprotective mode and went on high alert and never came off of high alert.
Yeah,
Um,
it literally, my body. I went into, even as just as a woman. Immediately, they said it's called menopause.
mhm.
Traumatic menopause. I went in traumatic menopause within 2 months of Asia passing.
Wow.
I was in traumatic menopause. I believe that's what it's called, traumatic menopause. And it was just kind of like, wow, okay, I didn't even know that that existed.
It affects your whole body. It's affecting
Yeah.
you. A part
Hmm.
of you
It,
it's been taken from you. A part of you.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
you carry that young lady in your womb. I mean, my body will go into shock too. I mean, a piece of you was taken. I can see all of that. I can see
Hmm.
strength just coming out. Losing a child before you.
it takes everything. My
Mm.
faith. I lost my faith. I was very strong in my faith prior. I lost my faith. It's just now beginning to get strong again. The- Everything. It's a shock to your system in
Mm.
every way imaginable.
Yes. Wow.
Yes, it is. We got a lot of people commenting and thanking you.
Mm.
But I want to just go ahead and get some of them in. My heart and love goes out to you, cousin. I had the opportunity to meet AJ when you all came to Georgia years ago for your family affair before her passing. AJ was kinder, kindering spirit with a big heart and spirit. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Love you, cousin Angie.
Oh,
That was beautiful. It's hard to say anything about a subject that you haven't been through, but I feel your pain. My baby sister lost her beautiful daughter, and my big brother lost his son, and my oldest beautiful sister lost her son, non through domestic violence, but it still hurts after all of these years.
Yes.
All we can do is love on them and pray for them and keep in touch with one another to make sure that they're all right. Love is really the key to healing. Lisa, I love you and I am so proud of you for bringing this to our attention. Love that. Yes, I love that. Cindy, she just wanted to say thank you, cousin, for sharing your entirety. This into what is that? Entity
Thank you, cousin, for sharing in entirety the story.
story.
Yeah.
Entirety the story. Oh, entirety the story. That's what
Yeah.
we are family standing together in love and prayer. That's
Yes.
right. And
Yes.
then we got one more right here. God will be the glory for from your story. You are helping a lot of people that though through they are alone. Keep sharing your testimony.
Thank you.
Just knowing people understanding that this is out here. This is not just
That's
this
right.
young lady did not make it. She was her life was snitched, just taken from her
Yeah.
and from Lisa or anybody that loved her. This young man made the choice to not only take his life but take her life. You know, I want people to love. I want someone to love me, but I don't. And they say love you to death, not love me to kill.
Not like that.
You see what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
difference.
There's a
I
difference.
don't want nobody to love me like that. If
Yeah.
that's too much power. You're so in love with me that you don't want anybody else to have me. Basically, that's
That's
what
right.
you're saying. And it's out here. And we got to realize, we got to recognize the signs, and we got to
Yeah.
make sure we put a voice to it. We got to talk to our children. We got to talk to our siblings. We got to talk, even parents. Some of our
Yeah.
parents going through domestic violence. We get mad because we think they're the parents and they not supposed to be helpless. But people of all ages, size,
Sometimes
color, it
exactly.
doesn't matter. It don't matter. Just people want power over situation and over people, places, and things, and they do about anything to do it. Whether it's
yeah,
kill them, steal from whatever it takes to keep
Yeah.
power.
And it goes back to what we talk about, what we constantly talk about. We talk about mental health, mental
Yeah,
awareness, because those are key factors in domestic violence.
exactly.
If any of you guys out there listening to us and watching this segment, if you suspect domestic violence, that someone is going through domestic violence, if there's domestic violence in your home, you can call a hotline.
Yeah,
That number is 800-799-7233. And there are some local offices in every community to help with domestic violence. You are not alone, and there is help out there. You have to be willing and find the strength and the courage to reach out.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Everyone that was on here just loved just for you to be able to tell your story. That shows growth right there. That shows growth because everybody can't get on here and just tell their story like and you did it. And I'm praying that even some people out here get a lot from this and realize what it takes to keep their family safe. Because that's the only way. We gotta watch, we gotta love, we gotta put a voice to it. Thank you so much. I love you, girl. We gotta get
I
like
love y'all.
we'll be
Thank
talking
you.
more because I
Love
told you
you too.
after this. So we're gonna get together, okay? I love you,
Thank you
son.
all so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes.
Love and light. Love and light.
Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for being part. I want to make a special love into my Sibby, my sissy. It's her birthday today. It's your birthday, Nat. Happy birthday. We was gonna sing a little. You want to sing with me a happy birthday song, Yvonne, for my sister?
I'll do that. I'll sing it for my niece Jasmine. Her birthday was on yesterday, and my mother's
Yay.
birthday is coming up on Monday. So,
Yes, so happy birthday to y'all. Happy
yeah.
birthday
Day
to
to
ya.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday
Day
to
to
ya.
you.
Happy birthday
Day
to
to
ya.
you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We can't wait to have fun tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Noonie. I love you. Happy birthday, girl. Have fun. Well, thank y'all for being part of What's in the
Yes.
Bag, another beautiful segment. And we just want to invite y'all to, if you want to be part of a great group, some discussions and things like that, we are actually on Facebook, What's in the Bag. Come on in. We got some chats. Some of y'all, some of the things that you're going through, or maybe some of the things that you know someone else is going through, or whatever, just let them know we got a great group out here called What's in the Bag. We have great topics. We talk about great things. We got different days. We do different stuff. Just come on and be part of What's in the Bag on Facebook. Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
and also we got that What's in the Bag directory. What's in the Bag directory. If you have any, everybody's doing something today. We're selling some. We're selling T-shirts. We're selling hats. We're buying things. We got services. We got stuff. Come on and bring it into the What's in the Bag directory.
Mm-hmm.
So we can find you. Only way they're gonna find you if they know where to come and get you. We're gonna go ahead on and put us all in one spot so somebody can click on your services. We're gonna be able to get them to rate you and all that good stuff. So come on in and let me know you want to be part of the What's in the Bag directory. Also, we are on YouTube. We are on YouTube. We do live on YouTube right now. We are on y'all YouTube. Hello, everybody who's on YouTube watching us. We are What's in the Bag 21. Do not separate it. What's in the Bag 21. We do lives. You can see all the segments, all our segments. We done started 2 years ago, and guess what? We are consistent. I like that word.
Right.
I told you, you got to be consistent. Well, we are doing the best that we can and be consistent. I love it. And also, we are What's in the Bag 21 on Twitch to all y'all gamers who use Twitch. We are on Twitch on lives every Saturday morning. We got TikTok. I'm trying to get it all in there. So if you want a little funny stuff going on and you know TikTok, come on and follow me on TikTok. Yvonne got a TikTok page now. She finally started her TikTok page and got some followers. Hey, tell
I've
her.
had a TikTok page for a long time. I've just started putting things on there.
All right, well, you just using it. Yeah. Well, we get ready to do it. It's a TikTok for what's in the bag also. And if you want to be part of that, because see, TikTok is a different audience. This ain't the same audience that you get on Facebook. So you're gonna have to come a little with a little thicker skin when you do TikTok.
That's
Because
right.
people ain't trying to hear you. There ain't no family, friends, and all that. If you ain't right, they gonna tell you. But still, if I'm not right, tell me. Tell me. All right, that's all I got today. What else you got to say, Yvonne, before we get up out of here, girl?
Hey guys, like I said, remember that domestic violence number. It is 800-799-7233. Today is a beautiful day. It's hot all over the country. I'm not going to say it's just hot here in Georgia. It's hot all over the country. But still, get out there, enjoy life, protect yourself from the heat, enjoy life, live your life, have fun, stay blessed, be a blessing, and have a blessed day.
I love you. We thank you for being part of What's in the Bag. I hope you got something from it, because I did.
Yes.
This young lady emptied her bag, and we're grateful to her. And if you want to be part, go ahead on and go back, and we're going to place her. We're going to get her information on Facebook. You should be able to get it to join her and see her webinars and things. She's got a lot coming up, so be aware. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Right.
We love you. Have a great day.
Bye.